Good morning, all of you, and welcome to my YouTube channel where I bring you a detailed analysis on any ongoing issue of current affairs. As you might have gone through articles in newspaper or media reports that recently the ministerial level meeting of the quadrilateral group took place in Tokyo in October 2020. And also you might have heard about the issue of inclusion of Australia into the Malabar exercise and also the strategic importance of the Indo-Pacific region for India. So in today's video we are going to analyze the interlinkage between the Quad, the Malabar exercise and the Indo-Pacific region. And after this video you will be able to understand very deeply and very accurately. You will be able to point out that all these three things are interrelated to each other. So starting with the Quad. So Quad is an informal security dialogue which takes place between India, Japan, Australia and USA. So it is informal and informal security dialogue. So it is informal because till now this quadrilateral group, it has not outlined its functions, the responsibilities and the aims and objectives of the organization. It is just a security dialogue which is working in informal form. Till now, two ministerial level meetings have been organized from 2017. First in September 2019 and now in October 2020. So recently the external affairs ministers of India, Japan, Australia and USA, they met in Tokyo and discussed issues relating to the Indo-Pacific region. So now moving and understanding how this group came into origin. So this is what it is, an informal security dialogue between these four countries. So tracing the origin of this organization, we have to go back to 2004. You know that in December 2004, the Indian Ocean tsunami, it devastated many countries of Asia, especially these South Asian and Southeast Asian countries. And during this period, India, Japan, Australia and USA, they formed a tsunami core group in order to help each other or in order to provide humanitarian assistance and the disaster relief. So this was a kind of a core group formed. They will be meeting again for a working level meeting in Manila, Philippines in 2007. So this is considered to be the first meeting of Quad group. Quad group. But you will see as soon as this group gathered, it dissipated very soon. So recently China remarked that that Quad is like a foam in ocean. It will dissipate very soon. So Quad 1.0. So I will call this period between 2007 2008 as period of Quad 1.0. So as soon as they gathered, they dissipated very soon. And the first to backtrack from this quadrilateral grouping was Japan and Australia. Australia has very close trade and economic relations with China, and Japan and China are always arch enemies, and they also have at present they have disputes there are certain disputes between them on the islands in the South China Sea region. So Japan also came out of this Quad. So it was the Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe who put forward the idea of a quadrilateral grouping, and he was the one who resigned soon and Japan came out of this grouping. And also they assured in a joint press conference with China that they would not participate in any dialogue of this type again. So why was China against this Quad grouping? Actually, this Quad grouping was seen by China as a anti-China coalition or containment strategy. So it vehemently protested against this group, and soon these countries they dissipated. While India was always suspicious of this kind of grouping, and one of the reason was that if we participate in such kind of a group, we will lose the policy maneuverability. So India wanted to maintain its strategic autonomy in foreign policy issues. But if we participate in such a grouping where all the other than US, they are Japan and Australia, they are the traditional allies of the US. So we'll be working in a group which is dominated by the USA and its allies. So that is why we also never trusted this group. So first of all, they came together, and then within a year this group dissipated. So now moving further, how the Quad 2.0 it came into existence. So Quad 2.0, it all began with in 2017. So they will be meeting again. But since 2017 to 2019, most of the analysts or the foreign policy experts, they call it Quad 2.0. So we will also be agreeing with them that it is definitely a second version of Quad 2.0. So since from 2017 to 2019, there were only working level group meetings. But from 2019 September, external affairs ministers, they met for first time. And recently in 2020 in October, they have met again in Tokyo. So this is Quad 2.0, and the main aim of Quad 2.0 is to maintain the rules-based international order in the Indo-Pacific region, and to maintain the free and inclusive Indo-Pacific region. And when I say that it is free and inclusive, it means that there shall be freedom of navigation, freedom of communication, freedom of overflight. And why they are talking about the freedom of navigation and freedom of communication, overflight in this region, is because China has constructed certain features in South China Sea. And after building these features, it has militarized them. So these are artificial features in South China Sea region, and it has militarized these structures, and as a result it is now denying the facility of navigation, communication and overflight from this region. So this is like denying access to the global world of the global commons. So that is why these countries, they are again asserting that Indo-Pacific should be an inclusive region. It should be a zone of prosperity, peace, and not of repression, not of violent overtures which China again and again getting involved in. So this was the one of the aim of this Quad 2.0 grouping. But as you know, Quad 2.0, it is said to be an organization with no aim, with no purpose. So this is one of the criticism of this group. Why they have criticized it as such? Because this organization, or I will call this dialogue group, it has never come out with a joint statement. They have only given their individual statements after these meetings. So that means there is no unanimity in their views on this, on the kind of involvement that they should get with each other, and the kind of the activities that are to be defined or that are to be included within the Quad 2.0 grouping. So China has criticized it as a Asian NATO. So they have described it as a Asian NATO, a group which is being led by the USA and its traditional allies, and which have also now included India. So why is India included in this group? So as you all know that recently there are skirmishes between India and China in Ladakh region, and these skirmishes they keep on taking from time to time. Also in the recent times, the Chinese Navy has obstructed the movements in this South China Sea region. So freedom of navigation, freedom of communication, freedom of overflight is being affected by the actions of the Chinese Navy. And as you all know that there is a very important strait in this region that is called Malacca Strait, which is very important from the perspective of the economic strategic point of view. And through this Malacca Strait, 80% of China's crude oil, it passes away. It passes. So it wants to secure this area. So it asserts that the entire South China Sea is its exclusive economic zone, denying the rights to other Southeast Asian countries like Philippines, Indonesia, Vietnam, etc. So that was the importance of the Malacca Strait. Also, Indo-Pacific region is said to be very rich. Rich in what? Mineral reserves, hydrocarbons, fish stock, and also from the economic and trade point of view. So USA being a resident power in this region is not comfortable with the increasing violent overtures or assertive role being played by the China in this region. Not only USA but other countries like Australia, Japan and India, also the ASEAN group is also not comfortable with this kind of aggressive and the assertive role being played by the Chinese Navy in this region. So importance for India. It is important for India because as you know that China's involvement in the Indian Ocean region is increasing. It has improved its relationship with all the Southeast Asian countries, whether it is China, whether it is Bangladesh, Bhutan, okay, Nepal, Pakistan. So we have to be aware of our maritime security. So this is one of the issue why we are concerned. Our strategic interest, not only in Indian Ocean but also in the Pacific Ocean. If we are denied the kind of freedom of navigation and freedom of overflight, our strategic and the economic interest might get affected. So these are the reasons why India is also concerned with this kind of actions by China. So we have discussed that what it is, the quadrilateral grouping, and the second thing, how it originated, its evolution, its present status that we have discussed, and importance for India we have just concluded now. So the second part that I would like to discuss is the Indo-Pacific issue. So you might be amazed to hear an interesting fact that this Indo-Pacific word was first used by an retired Indian naval officer, Gurpreet Khurana, in a paper. So this word has recently gained a very important perspective, whether in newspapers, whether in different kind of articles, whether in foreign policy perspective or the economic or maritime perspective. So first of all, coined by Gurpreet Khurana. In his paper on where he pointed out the importance of the sea routes and congruence between India and Japan in the region. India and Japan in these two seas, that is, or these two oceans, India and Pacific, Indian and Pacific Ocean. So second time, as in 2007, Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, he addressed Indian Parliament. So he addressed the Indian Parliament. And he talked about the dynamic coupling of these two seas, that is the Indian and Pacific Ocean. So again, you know that in 2007 there was first working level meeting of Quad. And in 2013, government of Australia, they would also come out with a paper, with a white paper on Indo-Pacific region. Moving on further, after this, in 2017, USA, it came out with its national security strategy. So in 2017, it came out with its national security strategy, where it said that a kind of confrontation is taking place in Indo-Pacific region between the two kinds of vision, that is freedom and repressal. Also, during this period 2017-18, they renamed their Asia Pacific fleet as Indo-Pacific fleet. Renamed it as Indo-Pacific fleet. So it is a maritime fleet of the US Navy. So in 2018 also, we also came out with our own version of, so India also came out with its own version of Indo-Pacific. So Indian government defined it for the first time. So the Honorable Prime Minister in 2018 meeting in Shangri-La, or Shangri-La dialogue that takes place annually, he defined Indo-Pacific region as a region of peace and prosperity. He said that Indo-Pacific is not directed towards any country. So in an apparent reference to China, he said that it is not directed towards any particular country. he also said that Southeast Asia is at the center of this region. Why he emphasized this point was, so in the when USA described its national security strategy and Indo-Pacific region, it said that the Indo-Pacific region, it stretches from the western coast of India, west coast of India to west coast of USA. Okay. And when India came out with its own vision of Indo-Pacific region, it said that Indo-Pacific region, it stretches from western coast or from the coast of Africa or what we can as the western coast of the Indian Ocean or the coast of Africa to the western coast of USA. So USA wanted India to play the role of a swing state, but we have clearly communicated to them through this that we do not want to be at the center of this region, because ASEAN, which is a Southeast Asian body which have built the entire economic and the security architecture of this region, is at the center of this region and not India. So yeah, you know that these are the kind of the conflicting views. So that is why the Quad is not able to issue any kind of joint statement, because there is no unanimity among them regarding this kind of geographical perspective of Indo-Pacific region. So this was the what it is. So Indo-Pacific region is nothing but a geostrategic construct. So it is a maritime region which lies between the Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean, but has gained increased importance over the years due to its strategic economic importance. So we have gone through understood what is Indo-Pacific region, how it originated, how it evolved over the years, its present status. So whenever the Quad meets, it's talk about a free, open and inclusive Indo-Pacific region. It's talk about humanitarian assistance and the disaster relief in Indo-Pacific region. Talking about digital connectivity. Building quality infrastructure in this region. Why building quality infrastructure as opposed to BRI or the Belt and Road Initiative of China, which is said to be very opaque, leading to the debt trap for the developing countries. So building quality infrastructure, ensuring freedom of navigation, communication, and overflight. Rules-based order. Why emphasis on the rules-based order? Because China is increasingly asserting itself violently in the South China Sea region and denying the access to the resources of this region to the other countries like Indonesia, Philippines. So that is why they call for a rules-based order or the peaceful settlement of disputes rather than the sinking of the ships. That is a strategy which is adopting readily by the Chinese Navy. So these are the objectives of this Quad grouping, and the Indo-Pacific region is central to the functioning of this Quad grouping. So the origin of Quad is very much related to the Indo-Pacific, and whenever they meet, the security, the counter-terrorism, digital connectivity, development of infrastructure in this region, freedom of the movement in this region is central to their discussion. So these two things are very closely connected. So you must have understood what is the difference between the Quad. So Quad is just an informal security dialogue, and this informal security dialogue is centered on Indo-Pacific region. And Indo-Pacific region is a geostrategic construct which includes the Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean region. And why all this debate, why this Quad grouping and Indo-Pacific origin, group origin? It is only because of the violent and the assertive role being played by the China. So it is acting as a predatory, assertive country, as opposed to the expectation that there will be a peaceful rise of China. But under Xi Jinping, we have seen that China is not rising peacefully. So as opposed to Deng Xiaoping's policy that we should bide by our time, we should build our strength, Xi Jinping has openly adopted a confrontationist, provocative policy, assertive policy in the region. And it has decided that it will end US hegemony by 2050. So China also wants to take revenge of 200 years of its humiliation which it suffered during the colonial rule. So we know that the rise of China is not going to be peaceful. So what these countries have done is to ensure that it does not engage in these kinds of the unilateral and provocative policies in this region. So that is why Quad grouping is very important. But Quad has not been able to achieve its desired objectives because of the reluctance of the members. Also, India wanted to maintain good relations with the China. So that is why we are also not engaging clearly with this region or clearly with this grouping, Quad. So why we are not engaging directly with this group? So you know that Wuhan spirit, which was a kind of informal dialogue that took place in Wuhan between the Honorable Prime Minister of India and the Chinese President Xi Jinping. Again, we know that there was another informal dialogue, Mamallapuram in Tamil Nadu. So Mamallapuram is said to have close trade links with China in the past. So that is why Mamallapuram was chosen for this informal summit. So India wanted to preserve the spirit or the kind of the cooperation that we developed through these two kinds of informal meetings. That is why we are also not trying to openly increase or openly wanted to cooperate with these countries, because China can open another front in the Bay of Bengal or the Indian Ocean region, and that could be a problem, another problem for India. So moving on to next thing, that is the Malabar exercise. So what is Malabar exercise? So Malabar exercise, it started in 1992. 1992 between India and USA. So it was a bilateral maritime exercise between India and USA which began in 1992. In 1998, India conducted nuclear tests. And as a result, USA imposed sanctions on India, and the Malabar exercise, which was an annual maritime exercise, it did not take place regularly till 2004. Since 2004, there have been regular exercises between these two countries. From 2007, for the first time, Australia and Singapore were included in this exercise. Singapore included. Also, Japan was also included in this exercise, but it was a one-time action, or that was, it was only for 2007. After that, Japan became a permanent member of this exercise in 2015. So Japan became a permanent member. So in 2015, Japan became a permanent member, and from bilateral it became a trilateral maritime exercise. Since then, there have been talks of including, as you know that in 2017 the Quad was revived. So Quad grouping was revived. So there was increasing request to include Australia into this exercise, but India has till now refused to include Australia, and formally we have not agreed to include Australia because it is like weaponizing this Quad grouping, because these four countries, they are also member of the Quad informal security dialogue, and weaponizing it would be like weaponizing the Malabar exercise or weaponizing the Quad. So that is why we are formally not agreed to including Australia in the annual Malabar exercise. So this was the Malabar exercise. So as you now must have understood how these three concepts of Indo-Pacific, Quad and Malabar exercise are interrelated, and you will be able to better analyze any questions which could be asked from this group or which could be asked from this topic. So that was all from me for today in this lecture. If you like this lecture, please share and comment on it, or please like it. And if you also want to share your views or comments or want to give any kind of suggestions, you are free to exercise them. Okay, thank you.